they lived together. They didn't live as man and wife. They didn't care what people said, no. Just tried to quietly live their life. When Joe would try to hog the covers, Mary did not scream or shout. She simply nudged him with her elbow. Joe, it's your turn to let the donkey out. Joe, it's your turn to let the donkey out. And these two people loved each other such a long, long time ago. And yet I yearn to hear the story of old friends, Mary and Joe. Those two old friends, Mary and Joe. One morning Mary, she came to Joseph. She said, I'm gonna be a mom. There's just one thing about the father. Heaven knows where he came from. So Mary had her little baby. Yeah, Mary had her little lamb. He didn't look a bit like Joseph, but Joe was happy as a clam. That Joe was happy as a clam. 'Cause when two people love each other, they're gonna reap just what they sow. And when they sow the seeds of friendship, they'll live like Mary and Joe. They'll live just like Mary and Joe. Joseph held that little baby. He dearly loved it as his own. And Mary owed no explanations, and Joseph threw no stones. But when Joe's heart would start to darken, he laid his feelings on the line. Sat and worked it out with Mary. They took it one day at a time. They took it one day at a time. 'Cause when two people love each other, there's still a long, tough road to hoe. Or they learn to raise a garden like our friends, Mary and Joe. Those two old friends, Mary and Joe. As luck would have it, the boy grew famous. You know, he turned out rather nice. They wrote a lot of books about him, chock full of worldly advice. But nowadays, I pause to wonder about the stuff I need to know. I need a little less sweet Jesus, a little more Mary and Joe, a little more please, Mary and Joe. There's all this waiting on some savior to come on back and run the show. Well, you can keep your son in heaven, Lord, send back Mary and Joe Just send on by Mary and Joe.
Why, hello, I'm Darlene Edwards. Check your volume, kids, check your volume. I really wanted to play that video for you, but the audio was recorded really rather low. So you might want to crank down your volume for the rest of the show, because this will be kind of the show volume. How about that? That was my pal Christopher Smith, ably assisted by Linda Lou and Michael Riggy, and Doug Adams on fiddle, who will be here next week as my special guest, singing a song called Mary and Joe that I have always loved. Wonderful songwriter Christopher Smith. Moved off to places east, as I recall. Well, welcome to the webcast, Webcastaways. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here, hoping you're all staying safe and sane for yourselves, as well as for the several non-you people that are out there in the world. That's enough said about that. Even though I was very, I'm not bummed. I'm just a little surprised. I was very good this whole year, and even though the political tide really is turning, don't worry, this is going to get all political. Even though the political tide is turning, as it turns out, my prediction from last week was incorrect, and I did not get a pony for Christmas. But I did, however, courtesy of Santa or Miss Valerie. Thank you very much. I'll pass that on to her. Santa or Miss Valerie or one of the kitties, I don't know. I did get, check it out, a stress tardigrade. It's a stress ball, but it's a tardigrade, also known as a water bear, also known as a moss piglet, which is another great band name, Moss Piglet. Love it. It's going to help me reduce my stress, especially this next 23 days. And check it out. If you think I'm lying, I ain't, because there it is. There's the stress tardigrade doodad from Archie McPhee. Says right on it, extra squishy. Neener, neener, neener. Where's your stress tardigrade? Huh? Thought so. All right, well, tardigrades, water bears, are typically microscopic. I'm not exactly sure how this one got so huge or got this color, but they're bred to enormous size and remarkable colors by the Archie McPhee Company out of Seattle, Washington. So for all your highly esoteric gifting needs, or for that person on your list that's just otherwise impossible to shop for, trust archiemcphee.com to set you up. Welcome. Nice to see you. Also from last week, a couple of little notes here. Also from last week, I've turned a tidy little profit on the sale of that URL I told you about last week. Thank you very much. I couldn't decide what to do with snakeinfestedseafoam.com, and some young people, suckers, from Australia, strangely enough, needed both a name for their band and a name for their album. So it was kind of a 2-for-1 thing there. That was really good. And it made just a few bucks in the transaction, and that whole thing will probably just add a week or two to my purgatory, which in a week or two at this point is nothing, considering the profound purgatorial load I have amassed in, this past 4 years, with unkind thoughts I've had, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. And I'll press on. You're welcome. Our guest tonight, and she'll be on in just a little bit, is the inimitable Mary Flower, ragtime and blues guitar and vocals, and she'll be with us in just a little bit. Very excited. She's a big fave of mine. But first, housekeeping details. Big welcome. Come up close. Come up close. Get where you can see. Big welcome to lots of newcomers. I'm sure there are lots of newcomers here from Mary Flower's planet-wide audience. And I don't mean that people are as wide as a planet. Just she's played everywhere. Please do say hello. Type in a hello if you would, please. If you're stuck for something to say, maybe you can tell us where you're webbing in from. We're always looking for the winner of the Faraway Prize, who's webbing in from the farthest away. Maybe you could tell us how you heard of the show, and that could work for you, because it always feels good to publicly blame the responsible parties. You could perhaps tell us whether or not you have any New Year's resolutions. We are busking tonight. Mary and I are busking. Excuse me. We're busking tonight. Donations are not expected, but they are always welcome, and Mary and I will split those afterwards. So for you PayPals and Venmothers, why, look right there. Thank you, Miss Valerie. There's the information on the tip jar. PayPal.me/Stevie Coyle, or if you're a Venmo foe, then you just hit Mighty Fine Guitars. And I should mention that because this is kind of a special thing, with any $20 tip jar donation, and in celebration of the imminent departure of 2020, with a $20 tip jar donation, you get a free CD. And can we show them the free CD? There it is. Here it is right here. It's called 10 in 1. I made it myself with a bunch of friends. Mike Marshall is on there, Kendrick Freeman, jeepers. Walter Strauss produced the thing. There's lots of great music on there. Started off as a polite little fingerstyle record and turned into a whole concept record. It's not just a concept. You don't get a blank sleeve. It's a real record in there. It's a real CD. So, and Mary has CDs too, you know. We'll be talking about those in just a little bit. So if you're not able to make any sort of financial donation, if that's not in your stars right now, perhaps you'd consider simply sharing this particular post right here, this web stream, to your own timeline, or perhaps sharing with a like-minded friend or two in Facebook Messenger. That'd be great. Our kitties are here. Muggsy's behind the camera, and our kitty Fifi is doing wardrobe and makeup. And Fifi, I'm looking a little bit old tonight. Maybe we got a newer batch of makeup for 2021. Miss Valerie is here, our executive producer, to field your questions and comments and to pass them along. Miss Valerie, thank you. Our show tonight is brought to you by the month of January and the number 20 and by the letters SDNY, and by a German online pharmacy called Doc Morris, of all things. So get out your handkerchiefs for our commercial tonight. Oh boy, you're going to love it. Well, it's kind of weird, and it has been kind of weird this past 10 months, 11, creeping up on 11, to do gigs without having to drive several or hundreds of miles before. It's always kind of a good warm-up to get in the car and drive a whole bunch, get stiff in the car. But I guess I'm getting used to it, and I'll just trust that you're all there behind that little circle of glass over there, and start off with an original tune of mine that I wrote, as they say, that our guest likes, actually, is a request from Mary, called 622. Mary and I traded requests, and this one is for Mary, and I've requested one from her as well, which she'll be playing for you later. Maybe, watch your ears, I'm going to crank this down just a little bit. I left this up in vocal position. Let's get a little more guitaristic there, something like that. Thump. That one's called 622. Thank you very much. I'll wait for that ovation to die down. Okay, it died down. Very good. Well, thanks for tuning in. Those of you tuning in late, I'm Stevie Coyle. Our guest tonight is Mary Flower. She'll be along in just a little bit. I'm a big fan of oldies. And I'm going to try a little stumble through here. This is a revered technique that I use and the Quitters use, my partner Glenn Houston. We like doing this, playing a song we've never played before. Just get the words out, print them out, wing it, baby, hope for the best. This one, this is oldies. Now we're talking oldies. This one goes back to the early 1400s, actually. It was a big, big hit in like 1432. It's Child Ballad number 54, first sung in somewhere in the 14th century. So in the 14th century, actually it goes back to the 1300s, from a story by a gentleman that missed getting into the canonical Bible by that much, called Pseudo Matthew. How about that? And this one, now it kind of came up with a story, excuse me, which probably came back with the Crusaders from the Middle East, involving Jesus and Mary, who at the time were probably fleeing across Egypt, and the story was more about dates than it was about cherries. This one involves cherries. And this one is rather different from the Gene Ritchie version of the Cherry Tree Carol that you may have heard, or the Joan Baez, or the Judy Collins, or even the Sting version. This one is a bit of a callback to that opening video, Mary and Joe, by Christopher Smith. This one, as you see, is I'm going to be playing out of kind of a D minor shape, I think. I was messing with this earlier. We're just going to see what happens here, folks. This one is capo for you guitar nerds. I'm capoed 4 and playing out of a D minor shape. So for those of you dancing, that puts it in the key of 4. Joseph and Mary walked through an orchard green. They saw berries and saw cherries fair to be seen. As Joseph and Mary walked in the wood, they saw berries and cherries red as any blood. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, then bespoke Mary, so meek and so mild, pluck me one cherry, for I am with child. And then bespoke Joseph with words unkind, let him pluck thee a cherry that got thee with child. Then bespoke the baby within his mother's womb, bow down, you tall tree, and give my mother some. Then bowed down the cherry tree to his mother's hand, saying, Joseph, I have cherries at command. Then Mary plucked a cherry as red as the blood. She went home with her heavy load. Then Mary took the baby upon her knee, saying, my dear son, tell me what this world will be. Oh, I shall be as dead as the stones in the wall. Oh, the stones in the street shall mourn me all. Upon Easter Day uprisen I'll be, for the sun and the moon shall both rise with me. How about that? Wow. Kind of didn't steer away from that whole strange idea of Joseph. What did he do with this whole situation? In some versions of that song, an angel comes and explains things to Joseph later on. Here's the deal, pal. Sorry, we forgot. You got lost in the shuffle. But in lots of them, like this one from Pentangle, I got that one from Pentangle, they just kind of leave it kind of wide open and play it all minory and weird and leave it good and strange. And I like that. I got to learn that one. But right now, one of the clear indications that you're getting old and sappy is that sappy Christmas commercials featuring old people get you right here. So here's one all the way from Germany, and it's quite a hit in Europe this year, apparently. We're bringing it to you here, right here tonight. You're welcome. Brilliant storytelling, just brilliant storytelling, I have to say. Check it out, and since we're well within the 12 days of Christmas, it's totally legal. It's not like wearing white after Labor Day, for God's sake. Ducky, roll it, would you? Oh boy, how about that? Was that lovely? I thought that was quite lovely. Well, that's okay, duckies. There you go. Magical things are happening. Magical, mysterious things are happening. Not the least of which is Mary Flower is going to join us here momentarily. Let me intro you, Mary, and then we'll bring you in here. And you know, much as it's great to let the playing speak for itself with guests here on the Monday night thing, I think it's always good to give a little context too. A national, in quotes, a national treasure in your own backyard, says Jorma Kaukonen. And those of you that know that name know the name Jorma Kaukonen. I should have just jumped in. Acoustic Guitar Magazine says, I memorized this, quietly jaw-dropping technique with a stylistic range approaching that of David Bromberg or Ry Cooder. How about that for context? And I'm proud as punch to introduce her to you tonight, all the way from Portland, Oregon, which did not burn down, apparently, friends. Please welcome Mary Flower. Come on in, Mary. We're going to bring you in here momentarily.
I'm still crying from the commercial. Hi, Stevie.
Less than fire, Mary. Folks, you might hear a little echo on the line. It's just an artifact of artifacts. It's just listen past it. You'll be okay. Okay. Mary, how you been? I mean, aside from that commercial.
What's that?
How have you been aside from that commercial?
Oh, pretty good. I'm making it through the holidays, making it through till the 20th of you know what.
Absolutely.
And yeah, hanging on, looking toward the light,
Amen.
And trying to not look back.
Right.
It's all good.
Some folks had a question that I've actually had to, and this is my opportunity to ask it. Flower. Whenever I see an English noun as a surname, my first thought always goes to witness relocation. I hope I'm not blowing your cover or anything here, but is that your own given name, or is that a married name, or a
That is my legal name.
It is.
That's my legal name. Yeah. I'm not trying to fool anybody.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Yeah.
Because this echo on the line is probably the NSA listening. And I'd hate to blow your cover here.
Yeah.
Mary, where did we meet? You and I.
I don't know. We met in your shop when you had a little concert series that was so wonderful.
That was great fun. That was great fun.
Mighty fine guitars.
Thank you
great
very much.
place to buy a guitar.
Thank you very much. Say it loud, say it proud. Thank you, Mary. But didn't we meet in Florida as well? At Gamble
that festival. I played at Gamble Rogers. Did I meet you there?
I think we might have met there.
Were you with the Waybacks?
I was solo at that point. I wasn't with Menudo anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just trying to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm remembering all kinds of things that never happened, so that might be one of them. So
it could be.
We have a question. Hang on just a second. Yeah, can you listen past the echo, folks? Is it that bad? Okay, tell you what, let me try this. Is that any better? It's going to be a little distracting, I understand. Well, Mary, why don't you play us something, and I'll turn myself off, and it won't be an echo.
I will do that. Let's try to get the guitar in the frame here. Play some new songs tonight. Brand new pandemic era songs. And this is an instrumental. We'll keep the A minor thing going here.
That's terrific. Lovely stuff. Apparently we've got quite a lot of strange reflective echo going on here, so I'll minimize my portion of the chat here. Comments from the sound people in the audience is that your guitar is a bit loud. It's distorting a bit. If you can crank either the amp down or the computer down. And you know what I think I'm going to do, Mary, is just turn over this next portion of the show to you. I asked what I wanted to ask about your last name, and Just
Okay.
got to take it away from here.
Well, okay, I guess I'm taking it away. I turned this down. I hope that'll work. Here's another COVID era written song, and I hope y'all can relate to this. Let's see. Just sitting here thinking about what I don't have to do, where I don't have to go, why I don't have to see you. Just sitting here thinking about how I followed all the rules. It's an undesirous virus, got those lockdown, mask up, isolation blues. Yes, I do. In a dark room, I'm drinking dark beer and I'm praying on my rosary. I'm having impure thoughts about the mailman and the guy who delivers my groceries. Just sitting here thinking, is it me, is it you, or is it just the flu now? Stop it with the droplets, got those lockdown, masked up, isolation blues. Yes, I do. In my solitude, I am wiping with the Cloroxes on my laptop. All my friends live in little tiny boxes. On my walk I cross the street to be 6 feet away from you and you and you. I must insist upon the distance, got those lockdown, masked up, isolation blues. Yeah, the isolation blues. Anybody else had them? I'm getting a little tired of being so isolated, but I guess it's good. I'm getting used to it. I don't know if it's good or bad anymore, but yeah. Well, let's see here. Stevie had a request. It's a song I don't really do anymore, but I did a little bit of homework, and I think I can remember this with a little bit of help here. This is a song I recorded on one of my CDs. I think it was Misery Loves Company. I'm not sure. And the great piano player Dave Frischberg was the only other person on it. It was great playing with him in the studio. It was just an incredible, he did his Dave Frischberg sounding playing, and it almost sounded like a Frischberg song. It was really kind of fun. And it's a song about revenge. Now, if I could sell this song to the First Lady to sing, I would be a millionaire. But I don't think she sings, thank God. So here's a tune called, well, you'll get it. Let's see. thing I can't deny as I gaze into your beady eyes. Baby, this should come as no surprise. I'm dreaming of your demise. Oh, the birds singing out in the park. The sun is shining, I'm on a lark. You appear and it all goes dark. I'm dreaming of your demise. You are my diabolical baby. Your sordid ways are driving me crazy. You call me your sweetie pie, you're the rotten apple of my eye. When you spout those nasty lies, dreaming of your demise. Yes, and you're skating on real thin ice. Fool me once, there won't be a twice. I might need some legal advice. I'm dreaming of your demise. You are my diabolical baby. I'm starting to think your sordid ways are making me crazy. You are driving me to drink. Yes, you are. Sayonara, it's been nice living in fool's paradise. Cyanide could make things right. I'm dreaming of your demise. 'Cause I'm dreaming of your demise. Dreaming of your Yes, from the heart.
Mary,
folks.
that's terrific.
I'm glad you like it, Stevie. That's great. I'll have to start doing that again one of these days. So, yeah.
Say, Mary, we're getting a little distortion on this end, and I wonder if you have papers up on your laptop.
I
there or
do.
something.
I have a couple.
That might be it.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
I
it's just
never
kind of
knew
fuzzy.
that.
Makes me wonder if that
Goes
might be
one.
it.
How's that? Could that be what it was?
That might have been it.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
But who knows? Try another one. It sounds
Okay.
fine.
All right. Well,
him help.
let's see. Okay. Another pandemic era tune here. This is drop D tuning. I call this one Pandemic Pickin'. Here we go. All right. Yeah. Is it no more rattling? No more annoying rattles?
Well, Mary, we have a request from Mike Doolin there in town, who says you probably would sound better without the amplifier at all. It sounds like it's
really?
overdriving your laptop microphone. That could be the
that's-
case.
Well, I wonder why we didn't hear this before.
Gremlins?
That's interesting. Okay.
I blame Obama.
Thank you, Mike. Do you know Mike Doolin? Have you carried his guitars in your shop?
Sure enough. You bet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. I think you're probably right there. We'll give this a try. Carry on, Mary. You sound great.
Okay. All right. How's that?
Yeah, I
You
think
like
sounds
my
good.
little Christmas, my pathetic Christmas offering here? Did the best. It's a little altar to my heroes who are up here in photographs. So let's see. What would be good to play next? I know one I'd like to play next. This is a Yip Harburg song. Anybody remember, old enough to remember Yip Harburg? Wrote some beautiful tunes, and this is one of them. Oh, but it's not in drop D. Let's try it this way. Once I built a railroad, I made it run. I made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower to the sun, bricks and mortar and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell. All of that Yankee Doodle done. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell. Yes, and I was the kid with the drum. And say, don't you remember that you called me out? You called me out all the time. Why don't you remember I was your pal? great tune for today. And is it going to be $200 or $600 or $2,000? That's the big question.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Mary, you got a request from Bunny Barnes to move to your right slightly so she can see her hands.
Oh, for God's sake. These people are so picky.
People are picky.
You know what I mean?
Yes, they are.
My right hand, she wants to see my left hand.
She wants to see the left.
I know her.
Yeah.
She is interested in the left hand only. Let's see if I can get it in the picture. That's the problem, is getting it in the picture.
Take it away, Mary.
Right there. Yeah. Stevie, I sure wish we could play together. I just so adore your playing. That's never going to happen, not in this situation, because the delay will never go away, right? Is that right? Okay. Oh, your lips are sealed. Okay. I wonder if I could change instruments, if I'm going to cause all kinds of ruckus. But you know what? I think that I won't play oh yeah, I guess I could just play this one. I'll play this old Gibson right here. And I bet seeing my hands is going to probably be nearly impossible. No. A little bit, maybe. This is a very slick operation here. I hope you guys appreciate this.
terrific.
Thank you, Stevie.
It's Martian Stevie here. I'm sure I sound like I'm from Mars to the folks out there in the listening audience. Folks would like to know if you'd tell them a little bit about your guitars and do one more for us.
Sure. The one I just played is an old Gibson square neck, which is a little bit rare. It's a, I think what I heard was they made 49 of these in 1949, and I have one of them, and I think my friend Steve James has one. And there's recently been one on eBay, so they're kind of floating around out there, but it's called a HG2 for Hawaiian guitar, meant to be played only on the lap with a square neck, like a dobro, only no resonator. And this guitar is kind of my go-to play-out guitar. This is a Fralini made by Todd Cambio in Madison, Wisconsin. And it's called the Angelina model. It's much like a triple O, or they call it orchestra model, I guess. Either one. And Todd's Italian family, well, his grandmother had something like 8 sisters, so he's named each of the models after these 8 sisters, and this is the Angelina. So he does a really nice job. He makes a lot of 12 strings and ladder brace 12 strings like Lead Belly used to play, and parlor guitars. Very good maker. Fralini, Fraulini. You ever get those in the shop, Stevie? Stevie has gone to his dance class, I think. Anyway, if you do, Stevie, get one of these in stock, you'll let me know. Because one is not ever enough. So, let's see. How about, I'll do this one last one here. Oh, there you are. Have you ever had a Fralini in your shop? Never. Okay. He didn't disappear. So here we go. This is a Leroy Carr song. Well, Mama told Papa be quiet as a mouse. Papa climbed up on top of the house, made a lot of whoopee, made a lot of noise, stood and cheered with the best of the boys. Babies in the cradle, brothers going to town, sisters in the parlor, trying on again. Mama's in the kitchen, messing all around. Papa's on the house top, he won't come down. When the blues they come, and nobody knows where the blues come from. The blues they go, yes, and everybody happy when the old blues go. Babies in the cradle, brothers in the town, sisters in the parlor trying on the gown. Mama's in the kitchen messing all around. Papa's on the house top, he won't come down. Well, now Papa saw a chicken out in the yard. He picked up a rock and he hit him hard. He hit him hard and he killed him dead. And now the chicken's in the gravy and the gravy's on the bread. All babies in the cradle, brothers gone to town, sisters in the parlor trying on again. Mama's in the kitchen messing all around. Papa's on the house top, he won't come down.
Thank you, Mary Flower.
Thank you, Stevie. What a joy to be on your show. I'm a big fan of yours.
Very mutual. And I'll call you in just a little bit and we'll cut up the jackpots.
We will. I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Folks, Mary Flower.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
It's terrific. Bye, Mary. Well, how about that? Mary Flower all the way from Portland, which didn't burn down. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And Portland, that's a real hotbed of guitarists and musicians and guitar builders. Eric Skye, John Grevin, Mike Doolin, who was on the line here, Charles Fox, great builders. There's something in the water up there. There's kind of a coven of acoustic musicians. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in. The tip jar information is headed your way like magic. It's paypal.me/Stevie Coyle. All tips will be split between me and Mary, of course. And on Venmo, it's Mighty Fine Guitars, which is the name of my shop. Thank you very much for asking. The shop is open. I'm selling guitars. I'm still doing guitar lessons. If you'd like some guitar lessons, hit me up online. I'm doing them. I've got my butt welded to this chair many hours most days, giving guitar lessons online, and it's great fun. So if you're looking for a nice way to resolve all of those unresolved New Year's resolutions for the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, hit me up for some guitar lessons. It's totally fun. Beginners are totally welcome. Absolutely. Beginners are arguably, they're at least as fun. How diplomatic was that? They're at least as fun as more experienced players because you folks make bigger jumps. You make bigger incremental jumps, and I love being around for those. It's really a gas. So once again, that was Mary Flower, and we'll get her back next year once we get our sound thing worked out a little better and computers and whatnot. Doggone, it's ones and zeros. What could go wrong? I guess we'll find out. So with all that in mind, once again, thanks for tuning in to the Monday night thing. Next week, it's my dear friend, Doug Adams with a Z, going to play guitar and maybe some fiddle for you. He's a composer. He's written music for dance troupes and orchestras, and the Kronos Quartet has done his work. He's arguably best known in the belly dance community for having written one of the iconic, gotta have, seminal modern belly dance music records. This is that guy. And we'll have him here next Monday night. Mondays feel like Fridays. They all feel like Fridays. He'll be here next Monday night at 7:30 Pacific time. So stay tuned for that. Once again, thanks so much for your generosity. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to share it. Feel free to share it online here. Hit that little share button, and that'd be terrific karma. Really appreciate it. All right then, kids. We'll see you down the road. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Make love with a guitar if you should meet her, sweet senorita. Romance with a guitar, and when you find her, the strings will bind her. Make love with a guitar, always the right time, daylight or night time. Ah, she'll not withstand as I planned it, she'll say, I love you. On my guitar, I strike a chord like this. It always brings a kiss I never miss. Speaking of love, you can go very far, no matter who you are, if you play a guitar, if you play a guitar. I always get a kiss I never miss. You can go very far, no matter who you are, if you play a guitar. Make love with a guitar, always the right time, daylight or night time. Oh, she'll not withstand it, and as I planned it, she'll say,